The next part here that we are going to do in our model creation of looking is one that I think is a little bit easier to do, although we're not really fully given all the information um, in the drawing that we're looking at. But that's okay. We're going to get ahead and get through it. So again, there's two ways that you can do this. So my suggestion is that you start by looking at like a front view or a top view, and you kind of draw from there to get you what you need. So we'll just kind of break into this now. Going to part file, so new part we're going to create. I will draw on the XY plane with this particular drawing, and I'm going to start this one out just by doing a rectangle, getting that in there, and then we'll subtract away from it. So we'll start that 2D sketch right here on the XY plane. I've got my 2-point rectangle tool. So you could also use the 2-point circle or 2-point from center tool. So, but this one works fine. So actually, it's probably my favorite that I use the most. And we're going to go ahead and enter these in now. As I am looking at this, I'm looking at the front views of the isometric, and we see that that is a 60 in this dimension. And I'll hit the tab button, and 40 in this dimension. Now, that we are in inches on this particular drawing, so I'll kind of come back to the front. The drawing that we're looking at is, I'm sure, probably in millimeters, so it wouldn't be this big, but that's all right. We can go ahead and do that. There are settings that we can change, that we would change to go from imperial to metric. So, but we'll just go ahead and enter this as though it's inches for this activity. So there we go, 60 by 40. I will finish the sketch, hit my home view cube, extrude this. Now we need to extrude this out, looks like 30. So I'll change that to 30. So on that extrusion, now I'm ready to start to draw. Now, when I do the cutout part here, I can either draw on the front surface of this part, or I can draw on the top surface. So I'm going to go ahead and start that 2D sketch. We'll do the top surface for now. So again, we're just simply using the rectangle tool. So I'm going to come in here and put this in. Now notice, as soon as I clicked on that edge, that tied in and constrained this line to that edge. So you got to keep that in mind when you click and are doing stuff. So I got to do a little bit of measurement. Well, not really. I'm not even going to worry right now about what the width of this should be. I'm just going to go from one side to the other because we're given dimensions. So we're going to dimensionally constrain this. So the dimension that I'm given from here to there is 10. So I'll type that in. And then I'm also given the dimension from this edge to there, and that is 25. That's technically the correct way to do it. We could sit there and say, well, we know that it's 60 inches, and then we subtract 25 and subtract 10, so that we end up with 15 there, or 25 there to know what that is if we wanted to. But the correct way is kind of keep it with the way it's dimensioned on that print. So I'm done with that. So we'll finish this sketch. Now I just need to extrude that. It's going to pop up here, so I need to flip that going the other direction. Take a look. This is going down 15 into it, so we'll cut that out. There you go. That's subtracted out of there. And then we've got this other little square or rectangle feature right here that's on this face or this surface. So I'll click and to draw my sketch here. Let's go ahead and put that rectangle on here. And this rectangle is 15 by 10. So I'm going to adjust this. That's 15 that way, tab, and 10 that way. So I've given it the dimensional constraint of size. Now I got to give it the dimensional constraint of location, where it's located and where does it sit at. And there's two of those. So dimension from here to there in our print is 3. And the dimension from, looks like it's given to us from this surface down to there, which is 5. All right, now I've fully dimensioned everything, both size and location. Finish that sketch. So we want to extrude that. And this is where we don't really know. So it's a cut out, so it's not adding into it. We're subtracting that out, so it's cut out. What we don't really know, though, and what it doesn't show us in this print is how deep into this part it goes. All right, so I'm going to assume that it goes all the way through. So I'm going to, I could sit here and again, I could give it a dimension. In this case, we know it's 60 inches long, and I could say 60 to give it that actual distance. I can say through all, which will automatically take it to that back uh, surface on there. Or I could also use this to feature, which I'm going to demonstrate this right now. So it's to, so it's asking us which way do you want to go to. So, well, I just kind of rotate around with my view cube and say, well, I want it to come to that surface. Same thing there as distance, or the same thing as far as your through all in this case, but sometimes you don't know what a distance is or what it, so it's easier to just say, I want it to go to this particular surface as well. So we'll go ahead and hit OK. And now it's cut out. So let's rotate around just to take a look at what all we've got. So as far as our different views, this is what it will look like. It looks pretty good to me. So time to save it. So this one will be file, save as, and we're going to save this as part 4.1.2 hyphen your first initial last name. Don't forget to make sure to navigate that through and save it on the desktop. So you have it, and we're all done now with this particular part.